If you're wanting to increase your landing page conversions, then you definitely want to listen to this episode. Landing pages are designed to convert website visitors into customers, subscribers, and leads. But there's always room to improve your conversion rate. That's why Syed and I will talk about some of the proven ways to increase your landing page conversions by as much as 300%. So let's dive in. Okay, Syed. So I know you're constantly designing landing pages for all of the products and all the websites, but when designing a landing page, what would you say is the most important thing to keep in mind?
The most important thing in a landing page is to identify what is that key goal. What is that one thing that you want the user to do? And aligning every single element, every single text, every single image on that landing page to meet that goal. And that is the key to designing high converting landing pages for your website.
I love it. So I know that you deal with a lot of, or you see a lot of new businesses. You're even helping a lot of businesses. When you see some of their landing pages, what do you see are the most common mistakes that new business owners make?
Wow, yeah, this is going to be hard to pick because I've seen so many bad landing pages and helped fix so many of them. The number one mistake I would say is not setting a proper goal for your campaign. When I go to a landing page, there's a large menu that's taking you to 24 different pages. The call to actions are not aligned, they're going to all different areas of your website. Really, there, if you look at the page and you ask that question, what is the goal of this page? And does every element on this page help us meet that goal? That part is by far the biggest mistake small business owners make. Now, a lot of times that's resulting from a second mistake, which is not deciding on what KPIs we're measuring, the key performance indicators. Is it the number of sales? Is it the number of leads? Is it the number of phone calls that we're getting? Is it the number of Facebook message we're getting? We basically have to make sure that we're setting up proper analytics, and you can do it with a tool like Monster Insights on your landing page. Now, another mistake, which is a little lesser known mistakes, but a lot of business owners are making it, is creating duplicate content, which leads to keyword cannibalization. So let's say if you're running an AdWords campaign or a Facebook ads campaign, and you're likely creating a lot of variations for your landing pages, and they might have 90 or 95% of the same content with a little bit of variation for to match that specific ad copy. This leads to duplicate content in Google and actually can hurt your website ranking. So you want to make sure that you're no indexing any duplicate landing pages using a plugin like AIO SEO. Last but not least, I believe in maximizing the conversions and unlocking the maximum potential value of every website visitor that lands on my landing page. A lot of small business owners don't focus on the revenue per user metric. It's very important that we convert every user. We can use a tool like Opt-in Monster to do on-site retargeting by showing an exit intent pop-ups to boost conversions. Because what are you going to do otherwise? When the user leaves, we're going to give more money to Google and Facebook to spend retargeting so they can come back to our site. We can save that money by running a tool like Opt-in Monster.
Wow, I love those, all those mistakes that we can look out for. So let's flip that a little bit. What would you say are some popular design ideas that we can use to improve our landing page conversions?
It sounds a little cliche when you think about this, but ultimately use simplicity in a landing page design. Complex landing pages don't convert well, and I've tried them all. Literally, I would go on a website like Awards and I would find the prettiest looking landing page with a lot of interactive elements, and it has very poor conversions. Versus, on the other hand, you see a very simple landing page with a straightforward copy, compelling message, clear call to action, and it leads to much higher conversions. Now, the other thing is using the right color contrast to drive action. There's a lot of color psychology blog posts out there that you can read, but ultimately it is the color contrast that matters instead of the which color palette that you use. Imagine if your text is black and your call to action button is black, it's not going to stand out. But if your text is black and your call to action button, let's say, is orange or green, it's going to stand out and get more click throughs. Other popular design ideas that I've seen and that are proven to boost conversion is using urgency and scarcity. So maybe something like a countdown timer or a notification saying only 5 items left in stock, something like that will help boost landing page conversions. Another thing we can do is add social proof to boost credibility and trust. This is a very popular design idea that is proven to work. So you can add things like as featured in and put logos of top publications. You can add your user reviews, perhaps Instagram content, user generated content from Instagram using a plugin like Smashballoon. You can add real time activity notifications using a tool like Trustpulse. These are the things that show up on the bottom left or bottom right that says so and so from Florida just bought X tool, right, or X product. I really recommend looking at websites like Landingfolio and goodui.org for popular design ideas and inspiration.
Yeah, and you talk about social proof. Why do you think adding social proof helps so much with the conversion?
It really goes back to human psychology. When I am looking to pick a service provider, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to post it on Facebook and ask my friends for recommendation. We like to buy things where our chances of errors are low, our chance of mistakes are low. And that's why when we see other people are buying something or recommending it, we're more likely to buy it. Research shows time and time again that we don't even have to know the other person that's leaving a review or is putting that user generated content. As long as we see and can relate to that person, we're going to buy it. And this is why social proof is a must have on every single landing page that we design, that I design. And aside from just reviews, I will add things like security seals, especially on a checkout page, to make sure that our users know that the checkout page is secure and their credit card information is protected. So there's so many different kinds of social proof, and definitely it helps boost conversions.
Yeah, and that makes sense. We tend to in the offline world, that's what we always do is we ask somebody before we do anything. So might as well have that on our landing pages as well. We see a lot of times you'll have a live chat software on the landing page or contact form. I want to get your take on this. Do you think that it is best for customers? Do you think it gets in the way of making the purchase?
Most of the time, I find that customers abandon a landing page simply because they couldn't find the information they need. And that doesn't necessarily mean that information wasn't there. Maybe the user was just skimming through it and they didn't see it. When they can see a live chat option or a chatbot option, the user is more likely to click on it and try to get an answer. And when they do that, it will help boost your conversion rate. Same thing with a contact form. If you're a small business and you don't have the resources to man a live chat, you can just add a contact form that says, "Hey, leave us your question here and we'll respond back." And that tends to work really well. Sometimes people will say, call our business phone number, and then they're using a service like Nextiva or something that has an auto attendant service. So you're not even answering the phone calls and you're just getting the recorded message, and then you can call back that customer at your own convenience. But those things definitely help boost customer confidence.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't realize that live chat would be so helpful. But okay, so say the visitor, they are about to leave. They didn't use the live chat, they didn't use the contact form, but they're about to leave without converting like we want. Is there anything that we can do at that last minute to get that conversion before they leave?
I recommend using a solution like Opt-in Monster to create exit intent pop-ups. This is something that I discovered in 2012. If you can show a personalized message just when a user is about to leave your website, it works wonders. A lot of websites that you see now are using exit intent pop-ups to convert website visitors into email subscribers. Sometimes they're giving them discount codes to immediately turn them into customers. That last minute opportunity can lift your conversions as much as 10 to 20%. And it is really mind blowing. And a lot of times people say, I hate pop-ups and these things don't work, until you turn it on and you start looking at your analytics. And at that point, every disbeliever turns into a believer. And there's a reason why every major e-commerce website, every major brand is using these last minute exit intent pop-ups to convert abandoning visitors into subscribers and customers.
Yeah, that's a good point. And big businesses aren't going to do that for their health. So there's a reason why they have it on there. Okay, so we've optimized the landing page, like you said. We've optimized it for conversions. Is there anything else that we should be thinking about or that we should work on?
Yes, when it comes to landing page conversions, there are two other things that I really look at. Number one is speed. No one likes a slow website. In fact, there have been studies done that show that a 1 second delay in a page load can cause 7% loss in conversions, 11% fewer page views, and 16% decrease in customer satisfaction. So, what you really want to make sure is that your landing pages are optimized for performance. If you're using large images, compress them using a tool like TinyPNG or many other tools that exist. So you can have the same large image, but in a smaller size without losing any of the quality. If you're using WordPress, make sure you're using a caching plugin, CDNs, and there's a ultimate guide that we have created that help you improve WordPress speed and performance that we can link into the video below. The other thing that I look at on landing pages is SEO. A lot of marketers end up ignoring SEO when it comes to landing pages, but search engines are the main source of free traffic to any website. Yes, you should absolutely optimize your landing page for conversions of Facebook ads, adjust your copy and so on, but don't lose out on the free traffic potential that you can be getting from your SEO rankings. And I use a plugin like All-in-One SEO, and it allows me to make sure that my landing pages show up with the right title and image on Facebook and other social networks, but also I have a much higher probability of ranking in Google for the keywords that I'm targeting.
Nice. So we're working through it and we have our landing page, but like, how do we even know that it's performing well? What are we supposed to do to see how it's performing?
Great question. One of the fundamental beliefs that I have is that you cannot improve what you cannot measure. So, to optimize for higher conversions, you have to make sure that you properly set up conversion tracking for all of your landing pages. This helps you see how your landing page is performing. If you have multiple landing pages, then you can also see which ones are performing best. And the easiest way to set up conversion tracking is by using a WordPress plugin called Monster Insights. It allows you to not just install Google Analytics, but it drops the right pixels in the right area so you can have conversion rate tracking, not just in Google Analytics, but also inside your WordPress dashboard. It lets you set up enhanced e-commerce tracking, form conversion tracking, and so much more. And really, it's very important that you set up conversion tracking so you know what goals you're trying to hit. And now, once you have that baseline data, then you can set up A/B testing campaigns to further optimize your landing pages. Monster Insights integrates with Google Optimize that allows you to set up A/B testing campaigns, and that goes a long way. Now, remember, when you're running A/B testing campaigns, don't just have A, B, C, D, E. Don't do multivariate testing unless you have millions and millions of visitors on your website. To get the data and have it be statistically significant, you really need to have only one other test running at any given time and test one object at a time. Don't add too many variables. If you're trying to change the heading, only change the heading. Don't change the heading and the CTA button and the images and everything else, because then it makes it harder to see what's actually working and what's not.
That's really cool. So we've covered quite a bit and this is amazing information, but are there any tips that we haven't covered already that you think we should know about?
The most important thing when I'm looking at landing page conversions is for that second opportunity and that third opportunity conversion. So when you have a user that comes to your website and maybe they're not interested in your key offer, is there a second offer that you can show them when they're about to leave? Perhaps you can give them a checklist or a free download that converts them into an email subscriber so that they can become customers at a later date. The other thing is to overcome objections, and this can be done in copy. There's a lot of reasons your users might not buy. Maybe they think, is this the best? Is this the right solution for me? Are other people buying it? Think about all these questions that people are asking in their head. Is my wife going to approve me buying the solution? And address those in your copy, perhaps using an FAQ section in your landing page. You can add frequently asked questions and cover all of those objections, and that will help boost conversions.
Awesome. Syed, thanks so much for coming on today and helping us with conversion rate optimization. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Now that you know some of the proven ways to increase your conversion on your landing pages, we'd love to hear from you. What is your favorite way to increase conversions for your landing pages? And thanks for listening.